Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 191. I am your Joe Dix, joined tonight by Marc Augustiniak, Matt Sellner.
What up?
The Free Cheese, a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. How are you two doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, Mark?
というわけだからその推進中ちょうだい
Rad. Very rad.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Matt, how's baseball?
I'm in the best mood.
Yeah.
Nothing can bring me down from this high I'm experiencing. And not a drug high, just a euphoric high.
Right.
Work, it's going to turn around for me.
Yeah.
Work's going to be really good here in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Plus you got the baseball.
Baseball
Plus
starts tomorrow. Opening day.
Today, if people are listening to this right now.
True.
Yeah.
Made up holiday. That should be a national holiday.
E3? Oh, sorry. That's my holiday.
No, I will be in attendance today, if you're listening on Monday, at Cannon Yards for the first time this year. I might cry a little bit when I walk into Cannon Yards for the first time this year.
Does that usually happen?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did a little bit when I came back from the California trip when I realized just how lucky I am to have Camden Yards in my backyard. I went to Oakland's stadium called the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah.
The place is terrible. All 9 innings, smells like sewage.
Cool. What kind of sewage?
The bad one. When you walk around, like, you've been in Camden Yards before, right?
Sure.
It's very open when you're walking around, going to your seat and stuff. It feels like you're in a dungeon in the Coliseum.
Doesn't have that open back where you can kind of look out into the city.
No, it's like cinder block. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, that today, tomorrow, whatever you want to think of. It's
the
opening day.
It's happening.
I'm super freaking excited.
Capitals just won.
They did just win. They won a huge game. They were on the road against the team chasing them.
See?
For first place. Big win. Probably sealed the deal on their number 1 seed going to the playoffs.
When playoffs start?
Well, this time next week, this regular season will end. I'll actually be in attendance for that game. Whether I'm on the podcast next week, we should probably talk about that. Might. Depends on what time the game ends.
Sure.
It's an early afternoon game, so there could be a chance.
That's fine. Mark, are you going to be here next week?
わかったお待ちさんね
Yeah, cool. Then that should be
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah. Capitals doing great. Orioles tomorrow. Work fantastic. I can't.
Matt's good.
Tonight's WrestleMania too.
That's true.
I will probably be watching that at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very good.
really good stuff. I'm so excited.
Mark, how about the last week for you?
ピーほら別に汚いケツなんか触りたくね汚くなんかないわよ失礼
No.
何よケツ
I
ね
yeah.
いいじゃ
wasn't.
ない
No.
別にあんた使い道ないんでしょ
Yeah.
ほら別に汚いケツなんか触りたくね汚くなんかないわよ失礼
That's good.
ピー
I didn't know that. No.
というわけだからその
Was that the first time you had that?
ピー
Huh. Is it something you can normally order, or is that one of the weird things that you kind of find it as?
ああ何よケツね
Yeah.
いいじゃない別にあんた使い道ないんでしょ
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're both here.
ピー
That's we're doing good so far.
This is a good episode.
So yeah, so far so good. It's been a good week, I think.
What have you been up to?
I don't remember. I really don't. This week was kind of a blur.
I had a busy week this week.
Yeah, I did too, and it's also one of those. It was one of those ones where like you have like all this shit happen at once, like financially, responsibilities, just everything, and you're just kind of like. And it was raining all week, which is always puts like a cloud over you.
Yeah, especially Friday. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. Yeah. The rain's never. It's always
rain, go away. That's what they say.
come back another day. Is that yeah? I never heard that one before, but there's a first time for everything, I guess. But yeah, it's a busy week. Just one of those weeks where you're just like, is it like, yeah, how'd we get here?
Yeah, all the stuff I was talking about, that's looking ahead.
Yeah, looking back, yeah. But
I had a good week.
I did see 2 movies, so I did have a good week.
Okay.
Yes. Mark, you saw this last weekend, right? Yes. Power Rangers.
I'll take that as a yes.
That's
Got
the
it.
one. Yes. I saw the Power Rangers.
Oh, Saban?
Saban. I saw the Power Rangers by the Saban. So did you ever see Chronicle?
I did not. I never made it to the theater when it was out.
You can skip it.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
No, it was great, but skip it and go see Power Rangers instead, because Power Rangers is fucking dope. And funnily enough, like I walked out of there with a very Chronicle vibe. Found out that Max Landis, the guy who wrote Chronicle, did the first treatment for Power Rangers.
Ah, okay.
So
the first one's probably the most influential of them all.
Yes, that's the tone. Mm-hmm. Although he did originally
want to say treatment, or did he write it?
Treatment.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But he originally wanted to swap the black and pink Rangers.
Mm.
Switch up the whole dynamic there. That was later scrapped. But it seems like a lot of his original idea, which seems very reminiscent of Chronicle. Bunch of kids find some weird rocks underground, all of a sudden have superpowers. Sound familiar? It sure does if you've seen Chronicle. Yeah, that one's kind of different, weird, whatever. But it was good, man. Like, cried good. Yeah,
cry good?
Cry good.
All right.
They had some touching, like, friendship moments, you know, where you're like,
oh, that dirtbag. Oh, so cute.
None of them are dirtbags in this, I don't think.
Yeah, they're all teenagers. I just assumed
teenage dirtbag, right? From the song.
I was about to start singing it.
I am singing it in my head. Yeah, it was. I liked it. I don't know. I'm also.
That's good. I'm glad that this turned out good for those that like Power Rangers.
I don't know about that, but for me, I liked it.
Okay.
I'm starting to realize the older I get, and the more that like I just don't give a fuck what other people like. That what I like might not be what everybody likes, but I also don't really care anymore. Like it used to be a thing where it's like, oh god, I need to figure out just like what you like.
I kind of broke that a little bit when I saw BVS and I came out of it like, holy shit, that was good.
That's exactly what turned it for me.
And then,
Batman vs Superman.
I mean, we high-fived at work, and then everyone around us was like, what the fuck's wrong with you people?
Yeah. It was like, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
And everybody who rips it apart and hates it, it's like, you know what? We're not meant to. This is fine.
You stay on that side of the room.
You do what you're gonna do. The rest of us, the chosen ones,
I'll
are gonna be
smoke some cigarettes with Joe.
Exactly. We're gonna be right here, chain smoking. Everything's gonna be okay. So yeah, Power Rangers. I don't know. I liked it. I don't know what that says for anybody else, but I thought it was fucking cool. Bryan Cranston was Zordon. Bill Hader was Alpha 5, which was cool.
All right.
But no, they were good. They were a good dynamic group.
What was Bryan Cranston's name again?
Zordon.
Oh, Heisenberg. Heisenberg. Got it.
That
good.
one. Yes. It was good. I have complaints about it because everyone's gonna have complaints about it. But it was just kind of like oh, it's over now. All right, cool.
When you don't look at your watch, that's a telling sign of how good the movie is.
I never look at my watch nor my phone in the movies because I think that's bullshit.
I look at my watch only because they make a point that I am bored in this moment and I want to know how long I've been.
You want to let everybody know around you, guys, I'm bored of what's happening up there.
I don't mean it to be an asshole because I wear an Apple Watch. I do it because I like to know at what point in the movie I got bored.
The only time I started looking at my watch is after the credits started happening, but I sit through the credits always. And I
now you have to. Like every movie does it now.
I've done it since I was a kid.
Oh, good for you. I was a dirtbag. I left early.
But I was doing it because I was like, I know this movie runs until 2:04. I have to piss. What time is it? Oh, God, I got 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Look at all those names.
Yeah. But I do. I look at all the names. That's what when we were kids. It was a game we played. Did you ever do this one, Mark? Yeah. Same thing. My mom did the same thing. We'd sit there. It was like a game where
Like Game & Watch?
Nah, we would just kind of like watch we try and see where our names were in the credits.
Oh, got it.
Like, look, there's Joe. Look, there's Sean. Look, and we run through all of them, and then I just forever.
All right.
Yeah, and that's the thing it's all fucked up because I just do that. It started as that, then it got to a point where it's like, oh, I'm gonna pay respect to everybody who did that, and that's my own weird
I still
thing,
do
right?
that.
Right, but then you'll have the people you go to the movies with who get up and be like, hey, Wikipedia says there's nothing after the credits. We could go. It's like, one, where'd you come from? I don't have any friends from New York. Two,
let me see your ticket stub. I think you snuck in here.
Yeah, I think you snuck in here, dirtbag, and yeah, but I don't know. Then I saw another movie.
This one I'm more intrigued in. You told me what you saw. Go ahead and let the audience know.
Ghost in the Shell, starring Scarlett Johansson.
That's the only reason I want to see this. She's in a naked suit, and I'm down for it.
I've always loved her since Home Alone 3, when she played Alex's older sister. I mean,
that's got it. That is
I was just like,
cut.
I was like, that is a girl that I would want to be my older sister or friends with or whatever. It just made sense to me. And here we are, 20 years later, Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell, did you ever watch the original movie?
Hell
no. Okay, let me fill you in. Because you know me, I learned how to animate last year. What I learned was anime. Huh? See? I'm learning. You can say it differently. But I watched it. It wasn't long after we bought the house. I think Katie was on a work thing in a different state or country, or I don't know where she was. Wherever she goes when she goes. And I was like, man, I want to stretch out. And remember, like now I can go upstairs and say, Katie, let's watch whatever. And we're good. But that was the one where like I knew as long as we'd been together, still, if I put that on, it was going to be what the fuck are you watching, right? Especially Ghost in the Shell's got boobs in it. You can't be putting on cartoon boobs. That's just a weird.
Yeah, no matter how far you are in that relationship, you gotta let that.
It's gonna be a lot of head turns from the dogs and from her, and it's just you. Yeah, you know what? Katie's away. The dogs are gonna play. Here we go. I fired up. I was like, if I'm gonna start with what everybody started with, like all the Toonami shit. Let's do this. So went with Ghost in the Shell. Watch that because I think that wasn't, you know, that was something they would air regularly enough that I had recognized the name. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, this sounds Cyber
I actually
Police.
don't remember the name Ghost in the Shell until like, of course, all this.
Right? Yeah, all this started popping up.
Hoopla.
I just remember that name popping up, and I something about it seemed familiar or comfortable, or I don't whatever it was, but it was like, all right, let's look into it. All right, cool, Cyber Cop or something. People are fucking ghosts. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
Watched it, liked it a lot. Had a really weird
tingle in your pants because of the boobs?
No, Matt. But no, the music had like it set a specific tone that was
okay.
I don't know.
I like a good score.
Yeah,
I can recognize a good score.
Yeah, I like that, and it's pretty iconic. I think at this point. But yeah, something about the character, Major, was just like, this makes sense to me. I get this. I like this movie. I like the style. I like the story they're trying to tell. I enjoyed it. Then I heard they were doing the live action thing, and I was like, rad. And yeah, so anyway, here we are a year later. Live action thing is now out. Again, I don't know what other people think of it. I don't know what someone else might think of it. I liked it a lot.
I think I would be too distracted by ScarJo to really pay attention to the plot.
It's not that. It's not that overbearing.
That's kind of disappointing. For now, I don't want to see it anymore.
It's just opportunity dropped. No,
your review just did it.
Sorry. No, they did cool things. Like, honestly, I kind of just wish the world were like I would gladly start sacrificing my privacy, which we already do anyway, right? But
yeah,
I would gladly start sacrificing my privacy and stuff just to be hardwired in and not have to think or do or whatever. Like, I don't know. Seems like they're afforded much more opportunity, and yeah, it just looks cooler. Plus, like the cities, you know, every time they showed Tokyo, I assume, like all the buildings are just like there's swirling hologram ads all around them. Like everything is living, breathing, floating lights everywhere, and it's just like, yeah, let's do this. Like
Light City right now.
Exactly. Yeah, let's create a city of light. I'd be okay with it.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed both movies.
Yeah, me too.
Despite what the public may think. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to Ghost in the Shell. I thought the reception on Power Rangers was warm. Nothing like, oh, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But not like, oh, well, fuck this movie.
That's how so I walked out of it with, you know what? Here's exactly the reaction that I had to both of them. Okay? Power Rangers, I walked out of, and I was like, fuck, that was cool. Yeah, Power Rangers, yeah. And I came home, and I was like, nah. Right? It was like, yeah, that was cool, but we don't need to do it much more than that. Let's just stop there. Done. Ghost in the Shell. Came home, and I was like, yeah, I need to watch. Yeah, we should watch more of that. Okay, Katie wants to go to bed, doesn't feel like watching the movie again. So let's, I know. I'll see if they have them on Comixology. Boom. Done. Got the manga. So, you know what I mean? Like, I did go the next step with Ghost in the Shell. So, yeah, I think.
All right.
Yeah. But then I saw a lot of people did not like the adaptation of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh,
so
whatever. Fuck them.
But yeah, I don't pay attention, nor do I care.
Yeah, I'm glad it was the same movie for us.
That was the turning point, which is done. Don't care.
I remember coming home. I went to see it BVS with my sister, and I remember I just came out of the theater and telling my sister, like, oh God, that was fantastic. Like that was great. I came home and my mom jokingly was like, oh, so who won, Batman or Superman? And I was like, you know who won? The people, because they saw a great film. And I walked upstairs and I had to piss so bad.
You're not wrong.
Evidently, the people thought they lost.
They were real pissed about that one.
There was a lot of feelings about that one.
I don't get it either.
No,
it was so good. Especially, I cried the other day when they played the Wonder Woman trailer in front of Power Rangers. As soon as she like dropped down and she's like fucking shit up, and they cut in the music,
her score,
I audibly gasped in the theater. And fortunately, the music was so loud that like no one heard me, not even Katie beside me. But I straight up, like, as it was happening, I could feel myself getting really emotional at the trailer for no explicable reason. I don't get it at all. I don't know if I'm just like, this is so cool. We get to see like that on screen finally after 76 years or whatever it is. But then all of a sudden the guitar cut in and I went just like that, like just
do bump bump bump. I tweeted about it last night. I was watching college basketball and the trailer came on. I was like, there's no other score that gives me as jazz as Wonder Woman's.
Yeah,
Hans Zimmer, he's very good at that. The Joker, it was so subtle. The Joker's was really good.
Do you know how he did that?
He kept, it was something with the tension in the strings. Yeah.
Right.
I've seen the document, like the
behind the
special
scenes
features 1,000 times for that movie.
Yeah, there was never any resolution. Just always climbing.
Yeah.
Always climbing. And he did it. It was like on something.
It was like a cello. Like, I don't know what it was.
I think it was an electric cello. Like it was cello plugged in, but they played it with like a fucked up bow that wasn't supposed to be on there. Like they used like
so good.
Like a saw or something. Like something you shouldn't use. Like.
And I just remember the way he described it. He's like, I want it to be like the tension's about to break, but it never breaks. I'm like, oh God, that was so good. And then I did really enjoy Bane's music too. A lot of drums and Bane's music too. Good. But the Joker's, that's just another level. And it was so subtle.
Yeah. We got to do a big old marathon of all that shit at some point.
I'll be game.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of those. Just sit down and watch everything.
It's a lot.
I know. Did you do that when the Dark Knight Rises came out?
Yes,
we talked about it. We were probably in the same theater, right?
IMAX.
Yeah. Yep.
It's awesome.
Well, the other part about Ghost in the Shell that was dope, aside from the movie being rad, really liked it. Liked the way it looked. Very pretty movie. Very fun movie. It reminded me of something that when I had played it had reminded me of Ghost in the Shell.
I think I know where you're going with this. Are you about to introduce us to his new segment?
Oh, yeah.
Not a new segment, but...
Our next segment.
God, that's
our first official segment of the podcast, now playing. Where we talk about what we've played in the last week. And Matt, big one that I played, NieR Automata.
For clarification, this is the blow off your pants simulator, right?
Yes, as we learned, it is indeed.
Okay, got it. I just want to make sure I had the right game.
Yeah. So NieR, somebody said this, and I don't know if I totally agree with it or not, but someone referred to it as Souls in the Shell. You follow me there?
Yeah, I can't. I've never played it to give you the Souls aspect of it, but I can see like the same kind of themes as a Ghost in the Shell.
It definitely pulls Ghost in the Shell. The Dark Souls stuff, it's not as brutally difficult as that, so it doesn't have that part of it, but it does kind of have that.
And it has some systems.
It has that like, hey, you're in this closed box that has all of these weird paths that intersect throughout it over and over and over and over again. You just don't know where they are yet. The same way that any other
any Souls
Miyazaki game would have.
Blood Souls, as it's now called.
I don't know if I like that. Can we just call it Miyazaki games? A From Software jaunt?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. But yeah, it's got a little bit of that, but it's definitely more, when you play the demo, you get the idea that it's like, and we have video of the demo on the site. We should probably double back and play the raw-ass game now that it's out. But we did do a now playing of the demo, and the demo is very much, if you just played the demo, you would think that this game is a really rad action game with some RPG elements. Because you start off, and it's like a third-person view. But immediately within the first 5 minutes of the demo, you run through third-person, 2D side-scroller, top-down shooter, and by the end of it, you're in a fucking mech flying around in the sky, right? So,
all right,
you get everything in this game. But again, you would think action game with some RPG elements. You get the actual game, it's an RPG with some action elements. Like, it's very much, this guy has a quest. He needs 6 of these things. You need to run across the land and go find these things. Okay, you got to this land. You met a couple of people along the way. They would like you to find this thing in this other town, and you need to go to that. It is an RPG as RPG as RPG. Like, it's probably, where before I would have said it was like 85-15 action RPG. It's probably more like 60-40 RPG action.
Okay.
Which isn't a bad thing. It's just kind of, you have to recalibrate once you're in it a little bit. Especially because I played through that demo, and then the opening of the game is that same demo. So you're like, right, we're really driving this home. This is what it is. Great. But yeah, it's very RPG. But I'm a little bit further in. Story's getting a little weird. It's still kind of doing this thing where it's like, are we human? Are we not? What's our consciousness? What is not? And that's a lot of the themes that Ghost in the Shell had, which I like toying with these things. Like when we start fusing with technology and becoming this weird neo future that's probably ever closer than it ever has been. What do we become? What happens next? Where's the human begin and where does it end? And where does one stop? Where does the other start? And this, it toys with that a little bit, but there's also aliens.
Because why not?
Yeah. Do you know any of the backstory of this?
Nope.
I think Marc sent us a thing. I don't remember where or when or what. But it was the voice.
I intend on watching all of it when I actually sit down to play the game. Because if I watch it now, I'm going to forget all of it.
It was, and honestly, like 5 minutes into the game proper, after the opening demo part, one of the characters recaps everything he tells you, but in the thing he sent us. I don't know what it was, the voice actress of the main of 2B, it's just a video he sent us of her explaining what the game's plot is, basically. And it's like in a minute and a half or something. And it's it's just like, yeah, there were and I'm going to butcher it. There were all these humans and they created a technology, and then there was a sickness and everyone wanted to leave and go to the moon. But when they got to the moon, they realized there were aliens, and then and all this like weird shit back and forth. And now humanity is gone, or is it, or who knows? But consciousness has been downloaded into all these robots. The androids fought back to the aliens, and then blah, 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 all this shit that's no idea. But I finally got to the point where it's like, hey, we found an alien spaceship underground. You want to go look at it? I was like, oh, yeah, let's go. And you go, and it's like, oh, okay, there's some shit happening here. Nothing really like came of it. It's literally just like, all right, I'm in the ship. It's like the beginning of Prometheus where they kind of wander in. They're like, wait, what the fuck's what's going on here? But none of the xenomorphs climbed out yet, you know?
Okay.
So that's kind of where I left it off.
Have you started to see like any branching paths at all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. How obvious is it that, 26 endings in this game?
It's not that obvious up front. It does take a little chunk to get into it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I almost the other day I was going to do an alternate save and then do one of the things that I know causes an ending just to see it. But I didn't. But apparently there's somewhere in the menu you have a software chip as an item and you can unequip it. And when you do, you removed the operating system. So you killed yourself.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's good though. I really like this game. Like, it's good. And right when I started, it keeps doing this. The demo did it, and now the game proper starts doing it, where you start to you feel yourself getting bored a little bit, where you're like, and then they give you what you want, which is crazy stupid shit. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll go play something else, and then, hey, 2B, this is 6-0, the operator. Mm-hmm. We're going to send you some flight units. And I was like, oh, good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. And I got flight units, and I got to fly around and fuck shit up. So it was, back in it.
It's pretty cool.
But now I'm starting to get some weird side quests that are actually like, they're fetch quests, but there's some story stuff related to it. So I feel a little more compelled to actually get into it instead of it's just, I need 3 old pieces of coal. Okay, great. Like there's no, it's just like some random dickbag merchant. For Santa Claus? Yeah, it was it's Sklouse is what they call them, but yeah. Yeah, NieR's still really good. I'm excited for you guys to play it eventually.
I
know.
It's still on my radar.
I know. That was the majority of my time this week was NieR. I jumped back into Breath of the Wild a little bit. Not as much as I should have or probably could have.
How long did you play?
A Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, when you jumped in.
It was a good chunk. Like, I got home from work, and I think...
So you actually sunk some time into it?
Yeah, because what I was doing was, like, I'd turn it on, I'd scan the amiibo to see if I could find the hats that I needed, obviously. And then I'd maybe try and find a shrine, get aggravated I couldn't find one, and move on. This I actually played for, like... I think I did it 2 nights in a row, and I played it, I think, like 2 hours in the one night, and, like, 4 the night before. So yeah.
So my follow-up question to that, you were saying, I think was it last week or 2 weeks ago, about you wanted to invest a good chunk of time because you think that would be the thing that gets you back into Zelda again. Did you get that feeling?
To like get excited to play it again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like playing more of it, I was like, oh yeah, good. Now I feel good. I feel confident about taking on some of these shrines because a couple of the shrines, the major tests of strength are just like, fuck you. But the other night I did 3 of them and they were totally fine. So now all the ones that I've discovered that I just kind of marked and left, I feel confident going back to. But yeah, I don't know. I mean
that I don't feel bad about it because I'm the same way. When I beat things, I have trouble getting back to them.
I felt it, but then again, last night I came home and I walked in the door. I knew I had some time before Katie got home, before I wanted to go to bed. I still wanted to run out and go to the store, but I just was like, I'm home. What am I going to do? And instead of walking down and grabbing the Switch, I was like, I'm just going to watch TV. Which I wasn't doing a couple weeks ago before I beat Ganon, you know? I was like...
I'm getting to the point. It has something to do with where I left off in that game. I know the next thing I'm doing is something big and it's a time sink. It's not like the ideal Switch moment where like you put it, you play for half an hour at work and then like I don't know if I want to do that with the dungeon. So I look at my Switch. I'm like, oh man, I don't have 2 hours to kill. I have a half an hour. Let's play some Rocket League.
Right. Yeah, I did that. Like I did that a little bit with Disc Jam. I did it a little bit with that Bit Trip game that I bought, the Bit Trip collection or whatever it was.
Oh, Bit Trip. I thought you said Bitcher. I was like making fun of The Witcher. I was like,
No,
when did you start playing that?
Sorry, my beard got in my mouth. Yeah, and like just random little shit on my 3DS. Like that's been like my little filler time. It hasn't been much in the way of.
Like I say, I'm set up for gold. I got the setup now.
Yeah.
For what I want to do. Wait, you have the hiccups too, like I do?
No, my nose made a weird squeak, and I was thrown off. But yeah, Zelda, it's still great. It's just like the wind's kind of out of the sails. But I need to, if I start going again, like playing those hours and hours, I was actually pissed when the battery got low. Because the one night I played for like 4 hours, and then I was like, oh wow, I've been playing for a really long time.
I think what's gonna happen is once I get another game on the Switch and I actually like start booting it back up again, I'm like, oh, there's Zelda. And I'm gonna keep seeing it every time I turn it on. I'm like, I need to get back to it. I need to get back to it. I need to get back to it. Yeah. And then it's gonna happen one day, and I'm just gonna fall back in love with that game again. So
yeah, I think so too. What it did make me do was go buy A Link to the Past on my 3DS and start playing that again. Don't know why, because I have a Zelda game that I can still keep playing. But
didn't you buy the original one? Didn't you say you were going back to that? Was that last week?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Last week I started.
Okay, got it.
Last week I started screwing around with the original because I was like feeling compelled after watching those little mini documentaries. Mm-hmm. And then this week it was like, I kind of want it. I fucking bought Link to the Past and played through. I only played like 30 minutes of it, but still just like jumping in that world again, hearing the music, because that was one thing about Breath of the Wild that I kind of missed was I like that they don't have it, but I also missed it at the same time. Just that constant music throughout the world, where you kind of like you enter Hyrule Field and you know you're on Hyrule Field because you hear it.
Yep.
You enter a town, you know you're in that town because you hear it. You know it's raining because there's a certain Whoops. But I kind of missed that. I kind of didn't miss that, but I kind of missed that. Jumping into Link to the Past and being in certain areas, and be like, oh yeah, right. When I went to the Lost Woods, it was just like, oh yeah.
Link to the Past was actually one of the ones I played for a little bit. Put a couple hours into it.
Because you never beat a Zelda, right? No. Yeah.
Twilight Princess was the closest by far.
Yeah. Till the damn spiders.
They were like invisible rat. I forgot what it was. It was something that freaked me out. As never turning back on. And
oh, right. The things, because you have to switch to Twilight mode and then see the
because you're going through the dungeon, but then you all of a sudden you slow down and then you go to the thing and there's shit on you. I'm
weird
like,
little bone spiders.
Fuck is that? Yeah, I threw my Wiimotes or the second time around my GameCube controller and I stopped. I totally forgot that was the reason why I stopped playing the Wii. That was because I'm like playing. I'm like, this game is like really good. Why did I stop playing? This game's really like every dungeon. And I got to that one. I was like, this looks familiar still. When did I stop? And I got to that end. I remember.
Done. Gone.
NHL, where you at? Let me put you back in the PlayStation.
I think you're gonna jump back into Breath of the Wild though.
I know I will.
I think it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Because I think you're gonna get a little bit further in Mass Effect, and then you're gonna pull yourself out.
I don't know. We'll see.
Tell me about Mass Effect. I'm
not even far in Mass Effect, and it's not because I hate the game or whatever. It's just I really haven't had time. I know. There's been some stuff going on. Good stuff. This is all good stuff. So I played probably the first hour and a half, 2 hours. I got through kind of like the intro mission, and the intro. I'll give Mass Effect credit for this. I actually enjoyed that intro mission. Yes, there was tutorial things, but it wasn't the entire time of hit A to jump over the ledge. All right, now you sprint. And those moments where the game like pauses until you hit it. Like you hit the button and then it happened. Like there was none of that stuff. It never did that. But it felt like that tutorial mission. Like it slowly introduced to you shooting mechanics. Mm-hmm. It purposely gave you a certain number of enemies until a certain point where you got to level up your biotics. So that way it introduced biotics. And like a big clash that was going on, that was fine. The story was like, I was like, I don't know, it was cool that you pick one of the two twins. I think their last name is the Ryder. I forget the first names of the twins.
Shepard,
not Shepard. It's like Alex, and I don't remember. Anyway, you pick one of the Rider twins, and that's how you choose if you're a boy or a girl in this game. So there are different, I think, story arcs for the two characters, unlike the shepherd.
Yeah.
Besides like your relationship or whatever. So yeah, I'm like playing, and it's cool. It's a nice little throwback to the first game. Your father has the M7 armor. I'm like, I wish I was back in Mass Effect 2 right now. The entire time as I see him in the armor, because this shooting feels just off from what I remember it in 2 and 3.
Interesting.
Just
is this the same team?
No. So BioWare split into 2 teams, and now I'm going to mix them up. There is the Montreal team and the Edmonton team.
Got it.
I believe Edmonton is the main team, the one that is responsible for like your Knights of the Old Republic, your original Mass Effect trilogy.
And they're the ones who are now putting all their energy into that Star Wars game.
It's
not Knights of the Old Republic now.
No, there's a different team running the old Republic. I thought.
I don't know.
Shit, I just did all this research. I thought. I definitely just did all this research for Flipside. Now I can't remember it.
Huh.
Anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, this is like the B team that's working in whatever city it is, and this is their first game. Of course, this already established franchise, so I kind of compared this a little bit to the Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
Where Arkham Origins is a great game, something just felt a tiny bit off.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going through that again. The one mechanic I don't like, it does the Last of Us thing, where you don't hit a button, clip yourself to cover like Uncharted does. But the Last of Us did it well. Mass Effect's like their automatic cover system, not
good.
Great. No. It's something you're gonna have to get used to. Story. This is going to be like a 40-hour game. I'm at an hour 2, so you got a little bit of time there.
I heard some things.
Oh, really?
Not story-wise, but
time-wise?
Time-wise.
Oh, okay. Well, the shorter the better, actually.
Oh.
Or the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Mass Effect 2 was like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I've heard someone say, I'm at the 65-hour mark, and I blah, 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 blah. And I haven't blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It was like, I still have all this shit to go.
It depends what you do. I have a feeling.
I'm sure, but.
So, like, the main purpose, the reason why it's called Andromeda is because you're on the Andromeda mission. It's this galaxy that is kind of, like, unexplored. And you're going to be part of the human race of the species, like the different aliens that are exploring this universe. And there was a plan for like each of these different species to kind of combine and find a new planet to kind of live on, to spread out their population.
Combine how? Like Megazord? Like Power Rangers?
Yeah, like each planet in the galaxy.
They're all going to become one giant man?
No, they're just going to kind of like, I think.
I know. Become one planet. I know. I get it.
I think like Earth's like started to run into population trouble.
Sure.
So they're trying to figure out a way to get population to another planet.
Makes sense.
So this Andromeda thing.
That's what we did on Earth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Years ago, it was.
Just on. I thought you meant like we found Earth that way.
Earth was. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
We did. We come from a planet of humans, which we've combined with a planet of dolphin and planet of giraffe. Yes. Everything kind of.
Giraffe. I like how you went the dolphin to the giraffe.
There's, just different animals. These things don't get along naturally.
No, of course not.
Right. Humans barely get along.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yep.
That was remember that was a South Park episode, season 7.
Which one?
When they found out they were a TV show.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, really?
I've seen a decent amount of South Park. There are episodes that probably escaped me.
This is so...
Especially middle seasons.
Yeah, this is season 7. So they find out that Earth is a TV show and that they're being canceled. And the boys go and try and convince the people that they shouldn't be canceled, that Earth still has a lot of good about it. And they're like, well, I think it was like when the boys find out that they're a TV show, like, whoa, this is fucked up. Like, what do you mean we're a TV show? And they're like, oh, it's great. Everybody loves it. Check this out. We took a bunch of people from this planet. We took a bunch of this. Like we took all these different races. We took all these different animals. And we put them all on one planet. And they all hate each other and they fight. And I was like, hey, that's fucked up. You just put people on TV to make them fight. We would never do that on Earth. And it's like, and remember, like this was roughly at the time where like reality TV started to get really big. So definitely satire on that. But yeah, there's that whole idea of just like there's a whole planet of dolphin, a whole planet of
So anyway, you go on this mission, you get to this planet. The planet is not as it didn't work out the way it was, and there's this main hub like ship that's kind of reminiscent of the Citadel if you've played past Mass Effect games. You go there, and there's supposed to be all these other ships and stuff that did their mission, and they're supposed to be there already. Place is a ghost town, and now I'm to the point where I found out that this mission has not gone to plan. Everyone else has kind of run into the same issue on their planet that I had. However, they were not able to leave said planet. So my like next missions are to start scouting these planets and trying to figure out what happened. So is it?
That seems promising.
Yeah. Is it the greatest thing? Is it the Mass Effect 2 opening where Shepard dies and he's brought back to life all within the second hour of the game?
Oh, wow.
No. But is it Mass Effect 3 where planet Earth's attacked finally by the Reapers and now you realize that the Galactic World War is about to happen? No. Is it Mass Effect 1 where you get attacked by a Reaper and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on here? No. But it's fine. I guess.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's hour 2 of however God knows how long this game is that you're telling me now. It could be more than 80 hours, so who cares?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'll spend more time with it. I got some time this week. My work, like I said, work's going to look real promising in the next few weeks. So
nice.
Work schedule's going to work out for me.
What's your rotation right now? Because I know you're about to talk about another thing. But like, what's kind of running through the regular repertoire? Like for me, it's been NieR, it's been Breath of the Wild, and then like I've got this weird like tertiary thing where I'm just kind of like rotating things out. A Link to the Past filled that nook this week, but it might be Luigi's Mansion another week. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of just like filtering things in. So you just wrapped up Horizon. By the way, you reviewed that.
I did.
You gave it. Was that 1.5 stars or
add 3.5 more to that?
3.5
plus 1.5.
1.5 minus 5 is it? You gave it a 0?
Oh
shit! So Horizon got a 5-star for some reason.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5.
Before we get into this, you asked about the rotation.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Horizon was your big one, and that was I know like that pulled you out of Zelda. That pulled you away from everything, except for Disc Jam. So what's kind of running right now?
This past week's been weird just because of how like busy I've been, and then I get home late, and if I do want to play something, I only have time for half an hour.
Right.
Mass Effect in a half an hour, not great.
Happen.
Did get baseball, and baseball and a half an hour kind of go hand in hand with Road to the Show. So once I got that kind of changed that. But I found myself kind of flirting with hockey again. I like to do the thing where I'm locked onto a position in a 6v6 online. I like to play. This is just I'm not playing for wins. I'm playing just to have fun. So I play as the enforcer role and go around and.
What's the enforcer?
You're like 6'6" on skates and weigh like 250 and
got it.
Pure muscle and throw your weight around a little bit.
Yes.
So my goal is not to score goals; it's to get 30
Push
hits
people through the glass.
30 hits in the game.
Got it. Yep. Good.
And injure the other team.
Yes, as it should be.
So
frequent fights, I'm sure.
Actually, I found a loophole to that. And I think I've talked about this before. If you create a girl, or if you use the girl model,
right.
I guess because of sexual assault situations, stuff like that, EA does not allow girls to fight. So what I do is I hit people as a girl with no repercussions at all.
It's pretty good.
I don't want to spend 5 minutes in a box. It gets boring.
Yeah, you're right. Right,
and
you can't
like
skip
for 15 minutes.
Yeah. We're not doing that.
So I found myself playing with hockey. I got playing Drop Shot in Rocket League. Ironically enough, I stopped playing Drop Shot and started playing Ranked again because the new season kicked off. So I've been playing Ranked Rocket League again, as I always do.
Yes.
And then Disc Jam's been here and there. I kind of dropped that. I'm waiting for the ranked mode anxiously. Once that comes, though, Disc Jam.
I hope that with that we get like another backdrop.
I need another like palette.
Just change the environment. Yeah, just do the same fucking thing. Just give me a.
Do what Rocket League did. It's like it's the same stadium.
Just
just like 6 different colors.
Give me pink and mint. That's all I need.
Like seriously, 4 of the first 6 Rocket League stadiums were just different times of day or different weather.
But that did it.
It worked exactly.
I just
need a color.
You're right. Yeah, it'd be nice.
So yeah, and then so Mass Effect's gonna be my big like gutty. If I'm sinking some time into a game, Mass Effect it will be. Now that I got MLB, if it's if I got like an hour to kill, I'll play a game. If I have a half an hour, probably be some Road to the Show. But yeah, I have not started a franchise yet, where you take control of a whole team and the whole organization. Right. I'm waiting for the actual someone to put out the real rosters in the roster vault for me to download. So I have all the Orioles prospects because I know the organization so well. I want to see if I can get these kids to the show, the kids I will want to see up here, and trade away the Dirtbag kids to the other teams because I don't want them anymore.
Does it make sense? Yeah.
But yeah. So speaking of MLB The Show.
Yes, I assume.
It's fucking phenomenal again. Gameplay-wise. Fantastic. I have not played a game yet. As I said, I'm waiting on franchise mode.
Yes.
I'm waiting for those rosters. However, the feature that never gets talked about anymore because it doesn't need to be, you just take it for granted now in this game. Bringing over your character, your save, and this is franchise too. Just bringing over that save file from one game to the next.
That's so cool.
Like I pumped so many hours into the character last year. And I was in the prime of his career. I actually never even hit free agency yet. I was still in my arbitration years.
Yeah.
I was like on year 5 of them. I imported my save, and my 99 overall character just right back to where it was with all the new features. With that narration thing. We'll start. You'll kind of see a preview on that because we have
that'll be up later this week.
Baseball week going on here.
We do have baseball week happening all week long.
Yeah.
Should we talk about it now? Yeah, we'll talk about it now.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Basketball. I wish basketball. God, I wish basketball. Baseball week all week long. So today we've got, today
is MLB The Show.
Today, assuming you're listening to this podcast Monday, April 3rd.
I've been waiting for this day all
I know. Yeah, we played Blue Jays versus Orioles. Tuesday, NES baseball.
Yep, we kick it retro. Real retro.
Wednesday, Super Baseball 2020 on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, me and Marc play that one. Joe's in the mix, but me and Marc had to play. We both realized we grew up playing that game a lot, so we relive some memories there.
Thursday, we got a little bit of Roger Clemens MVP baseball, my favorite baseball game as a kid. I'm hearing the music in my head right now. Oh, so good. And then Friday, we've got a little Road to the Show action.
Yeah, we start with MLB 17 The Show.
Yes.
And we go back to it on Friday.
Yes, because you got to. So yeah, baseball week. Keep an eye out for that. We'll have a YouTube playlist, so if you subscribe to us on YouTube, you should see that right there on our main YouTube page. Otherwise, thefreecheese.com, obviously. Yeah. Everything's always there. But yeah.
So on Friday, you'll see that there is this like narration. There's a little bit of like a story. Kind of like a story mode to it in a way.
It was very reminiscent of
like NBA.
Like, yeah.
So you'll see on Friday where Joe starts to make some decisions, stuff like that. But you would think, you're importing last year's save, you wouldn't have that. Nope, they threw me right into like the media. I'm getting asked questions. Like it's so good.
Cool. That's really rad.
And it's so like it's fun. Like there was a couple things I had to tweak. Like my hairstyle changed. I had to tweak that. Like my batting stance. Like some things didn't carry over.
Sure, but
it takes 3 minutes to fix it.
Yeah. The fact that you can bring everything over, like they're fulfilling the Destiny promise that Destiny can't fulfill. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you build your character once, you bring it year after year after year after year.
It's just so well thought out.
Yeah. How's the Vita version?
I haven't even tried the remote play to make the joke, so.
Oh, God. Yeah, they're not doing one, are they? They're done?
Yeah, I think they're done with that.
So the only version is PS4.
I think so at this point. I don't even know there's a PS3 version anymore.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
That's good. They'll take full use of it.
I guess.
I'm excited to see what they do with Rose of the Show. I was watching some of the developer diaries on this guy, and they like to do things in like 3-year cycles just because rolling out a sports game year after year, you only got so much time to put new stuff in.
Sure.
So you've seen in the last 3 years them kind of build up Diamond Dynasty to this big like fantasy baseball-esque thing that's really cool if you like to do that kind of stuff. Very reminiscent of like EA Sports, like Ultimate Teams. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think baseball does it a lot better, though, in my opinion. But anyway, they are starting that 3-year cycle now of Road to the Show. And year 1 is them kind of introducing these like branching story element kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what they do year 2 to make a big meaty change, and then how they dot the I's and cross the T's in year 3.
What do you think year 2 would add? Or what would you want out of it? I know you're barely in it, but like from what you've seen year 1.
More opportunities for the story stuff.
Okay.
But then what NBA does so well is incorporate like sponsors and like advertising deals. And there was one year where like once you landed a Nike deal, you got to design your own shoe. Like real super fucking nerdy shit that I would just dive into and just enjoy.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Speaking of fucking nerdy shit, by the way, holy shit does Matt know a lot about baseball. Like, whoa. Like, if you've been watching our Injustice series over the last 8 weeks, I trickled out some Batman/DC comic book knowledge.
The Green Lantern one was the best.
That's probably the best. But what I know about comic books isn't touched by how much Matt knows about how to throw a goddamn ball. Holy
little
shit.
Pitch sequence there.
What the fuck? Blew my mind.
You just have 3 pitches. Wait till you have a pitcher that has 5 pitches.
I can't even.
I mean, that's what happens when you watch hundreds of hours of baseball every year.
Still, though, Matt's got it. Matt's got all the baseball knowledge. I'm going to underline here. Matt likes baseball.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So Mass Effect, MLB, get your occasional Rocket Leagues and Disc Jam. Anything else in the rotation? Or anything in this last week you kind of farted around with?
Nah, not really. That was pretty much it. There is. I started watching it again on Twitch, and I'm almost pulled in, and I might
have to take a break.
And I might do it again.
I think we might have to take a break.
Hearthstone might be coming back.
Don't bring that back. Go play Gwent. I'm just kidding. Don't ever. If anyone ever says the word Gwent on this podcast again, done. Podcast shut down forever.
I'm thinking about it. I haven't done it yet, but I've been watching people play again, so I get back to use the cards.
Down there's a white box filled with Pokemon cards that I haven't touched in 8 months. They're yours for the playing.
Nah.
Yeah.
But no, we're not there yet. We're almost there though.
There's so many other Breath of the Wild, like it's right there. Just Breath of the Wild.
I can't complete that dungeon in 15 minutes. You know what I can complete in 15 minutes? Draft my deck in Arena
dungeon?
And that first.
You can complete a couple shrines.
I could, but what's the fun in that when I can draft a deck and
Spirit Orb, get a new heart, done. More hearts you have, the more other things you might be able to get. Just saying.
Got it. Yep. Nope.
Kame.
We'll get there. Kame.
Yeah. Speaking of break, we should take a break. When we come back, do a quick little show and tell. Don't have a ton. It's gonna be a light show this week, but yeah, cool.
Mark, any last thoughts?
というわけだからその通信費ちょうだい
Yep, I agree. We will be right back.
これでどうちょっとぐらいなら変わってもいいのよ 「
back to the Free Cheese episode 191. We're going to move into a little segment we call Show and Tell, where we find interesting things to talk about, bring them here, tell you about them, and then we comment on them. Why don't we kick it over to Mark? What do you got for Show and Tell this week? Is that happening next week, next month? What's... Was that a promotion with Taco Bell or just something that you kind of...
I was excited about that too. I'm glad you brought that up.
That's a good point. With WrestleMania just behind us, with just the upcoming spring, everything happening in the next few months, I think that's good. It's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't say it better myself.
I agree.
That was well done.
I think that's enough with that. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Mark.
I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Definitely.
Probably. Definitely. Probably. That's definitely probably.
Definitely. Maybe. Speaking about movies.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds, indeed. You know what? I was talking about Ryan Reynolds to Mark's point. I think it would be rad if DC let him be Hal Jordan again. I do these things just before Katie and I fall asleep, where I get really pissed off if she goes up and falls right asleep. Because you got to have that, like, hey, we're drifting off, we need to have a conversation. This is just a little insight into my life. So
I'm laughing because I know that feeling.
You're drifting off and like you don't want to just fall asleep. You gotta like, come on, let's chat for a minute. Let's
talk about the stupidest shit in the world.
And I always go to the dumbest shit that no one cares about. So last night's, as we're both like, my glasses are off, I'm like drifting. You faintly hear the sounds of The Simpsons in the background because it's just looping. Dogs are already snoring. I can hear her like starting to breathe a little heavier, and I just went, "Who do you think's gonna play Green Lantern?" She's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, somebody's got to do it, right? Like, who are they gonna get?" And she's like, "I don't know, Ryan Reynolds." And I was like, "That they can't." Oh, hold on,
they can.
And then I was like, "Wait a second, Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool in a shitty movie, and then in a great movie. This could be a thing." And then I started thinking about it. Just double down on it.
He's hot right now. He's real hot.
What's he doing? What else is he doing?
Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah, sure. That's
as a human being, very hot.
Oh yeah. Used to be married to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
that's true. And you know the other one?
Married to now?
Now he's married to Blake
Lively. Yeah.
Prior to Scarlett.
Oh yes, Alanis Morissette.
Boom, nailing it.
Yeah. What a couple that is.
I know. Well, you know.
I ain't got the Scarlett Joe. It's fine.
Canada. Just gonna write Canada. Piece of paper. Just get that out there. Yeah, I think that's the move. You know, he fits well. Like, picture the Justice League as it is now. Throw in Ryan Reynolds. I think it works.
Yeah,
he'd be a good Hal. He was a good Hal, just in a shitty movie. But yeah,
he was a great Deadpool, and that travesty. And then he's so his mouth shut and
laser eyes. That was him with laser eyes, right?
I think so. Do we care?
It's bad. Did you see the old Green Lantern, the 2011 Green Lantern?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, good.
Not in theaters. It was on FX one day, and
if it's there and you're there,
it was in the background, and I got myself caught watching it. And there was like a decent scene going, and then I sat and I got invested, and I was like, "What the fuck am I watching? Why am I watching it?"
Have you ever watched the animated Green Lantern movies?
No.
Do those. If you ever want to, because I told you before, read all the comic books, obviously,
of course,
right? But that's a big investment. You can see the size of that omnibus I have over there.
Mm-hmm.
But the movies, hour and a half of your time each. I think there's like 2 Green Lantern movies. First Flight and then Emerald Knights. Yeah, that's the way to do it. All that is the way to do it. But yeah, show and tell. I got some things. Mark, start us off. I'll take us with Tuesday. Drawn to Death coming out. How do you feel about Drawn to Death?
I watched that first trailer. And I was like, this looks cool. And if I remember correctly, I think I watched that second trailer with you.
Probably.
And I'm game. Especially because it's free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that's going to help, right? I was not feeling great that it was free to play for a while. I was like, ooh.
No one feels good about that. It's hard to.
Yeah, and now it's not, which is cool.
But it's still free.
But yeah, it's free for PlayStation Plus. But I think that's cool. And for me, the thing that's been the problem with, like we talked about when we were with Injustice, the Injustice super moves are cool as fuck the first time you see them. You watch them and you're like, cool. The second time it happens, you're like, oh yeah, dude, check this out. Look, watch. Great, you got that? Good.
Got hit by a Batmobile.
Again and again. And after you see it after a while, it's just like, ugh, who cares? And that's kind of how I felt with the art style of this game. First seeing it, I was like, that's weird. Who would make a video game like that? Neato. And then it was like, I don't know how much I could play of that art style.
But I think what I saw the difference was from the first trailer to the second trailer was that the environment they showed in the second trailer was totally different in the same art style.
Yeah, you're right.
So if you give me 6 arenas that are, they don't all have to be completely different, but different enough, you have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. But it's free.
The cool thing is it's free, so you get to try it. If you like it, great. And if you don't, you have a fair and valid opinion because you played it.
True. I'm looking forward to it though. David Jaffe once again returned to glory.
That's part of the reason why I want to play it because it's David Jaffe.
Yeah.
I think if this was just like another game that was out, I would be like, maybe. But Jaffe, it's like that Kojima name. Like you can slap Kojima's name on anything,
and it's at least gonna pique some interest.
Yeah.
The last Twisted Metal didn't totally do it for me.
I actually never played it. And it didn't look like my kind of game.
It was really difficult, like painfully so. Where it was just like you drive for like a couple blocks and you're dead.
Was Rob Zombie in it?
Not that I remember.
Yeah,
Which is already ugh, why would I even do this?
I almost bought Black the other day.
Yeah, me too. When it was on that like $2 sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I never did it. Didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, there's an interview with David Jaffe. On Glixel.
I've heard of Glixel before.
Yeah, Glixel's the spinoff from Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff over there on that. He talks about Zelda a little bit. He talks about voice acting. He talks about how there's actually a little bit of weight and stuff to Drawn to Death. It's not just buttholes and farts and shit jokes and dick jokes, but it is also that, but also with a little bit of weight.
Did he talk about straight up lying to audience or to people and saying that he won't show up at an E3 and then magically appearing in a ice cream truck on stage? It's my favorite thing about David Jaffe ever.
Yeah, I know.
I won't be at E3, and then a week later, Twisted Metal, and here he comes in his fucking ice cream truck.
I'm hoping that was the last question they asked him, but I don't know for sure. That would have been the way to do it, though. But yeah. No. Sorry, I'm like scrubbing through to try and find
just
you
to
the
make
answer.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not.
Something that makes me want to go back are the stories I heard about the episodes that David Jaffe was on of the tester. I really want to go back and watch it just to see Jaffe on.
Did you ever watch the tester?
No, I never did.
Oh, I did. I
think I've said this before. I was more intrigued with the after being voted out interview by Colin and Greg on Beyond,
right,
and Colin asking, "What's your favorite first-party studio?" and never getting an appropriate answer.
Insomnia. Fuck. I really like EA. Dead Space is a good game. That was good. Fucking Christ. No, the Jaffe episodes were good. From my recollection, he wasn't as volatile as I expected him to be, but then he would catch you off guard because you'd be like, he's not screaming. Oh, all right. And then all of a sudden he was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And you're like, oh shit.
There's David Jaffe.
There it is. I heard the beep. He's there. That's him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to play another Jaffe game. The last one was Twisted Metal, and that was 5 years ago.
Same year Uncharted 3 came out.
No, 2 months later. Came out. It was like a February release.
I thought it was all in that calendar.
It was supposed to be, and it got delayed.
Oh, all right. Well then, okay. So the year after Uncharted 3, then.
So 2012, 5 years ago. Boom! It's been 5 years since a Jaffe game, which long.
Last Jaffe game I played was Black.
Damn. You didn't play any of the God of War?
No.
Damn.
I played God of War 3 demo multiple times, but I told that story in the podcast, and me buying MLB The Show that year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I never played any of the God of War stuff, but. Yeah, we should go back to that Twisted Metal. Fuck around with it. I never played Black.
Black was good. I own 3, or no, not 3, 4.
I think
famous
I
for
had,
Rob Zombie being in it.
Yeah, obviously. I think I had 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think I can only find.
I played the hell out of 1, not so much. 2, a lot over a friend's house.
Yeah.
3, a little bit more than 1. 4, I owned, so I played that one the most. And then I never owned Black, but once again, friends had it, and we played the shit out of that.
I remember renting Black and being like, this is weird. Something about it was weird.
I don't remember it. I thought it was just more like Twisted Metal. It just looked prettier.
I just remember something was off about it. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, no Rob Zombie.
It might have been it. And then we went back and played 4, and we were like, what happened here? But also, Rob Zombie. Dead I Am the One. Exterminating Son. That was my big show and tell thing. There wasn't a ton this week, was there? Or am I just missing stuff?
Not really. I have something. The blow my mind moment.
Yeah.
It's not even like a real thing. It was just the fact that a developer said something other than no to this question. It just so happened to be it was the developer of Rocket League. Psyonix is, quote, evaluating, end quote, whether to bring Rocket League to the Switch.
What does evaluating mean?
It's not a no, so that's a better start. Fuck you, EA and Mass Effect. Because remember, they just came out and said, nah, it's not happening, sorry. There was another game that did it, and I was like, oh, get out of here. Try at least. Don't say no.
I think
say,
Overwatch said, like, it would be hard to do that.
That's better than to say no. EA just said no.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, well, we'll always keep our option. No. That was they saved themselves the PR way. But no, like, Rocket League just...
You've been saying that since the moment you held a Switch.
It makes just so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, traveling around, you're not going to have all the, like, offline options. Or you're not going to have all the online options and stuff. And that would be the tough part to sell it to some people. But, like, the way I want an excuse to play Rocket League at work and not be super laggy.
Yeah.
Like, your public Wi-Fi's and stuff like that. It's going to be hard to not have a non-laggy game.
Well,
however, if I'm remoting into my PS4, that's lag there. And then anything else on the home end.
Here's the thing. There was the Splatoon demo. Beta, whatever. Global test fire.
Beta.
I heard IGN's Jose Otero talk about it. He wanted to stress test this thing pretty well. And we all kind of know the weird Wi-Fi connectivity thing with this, right? Where, like, I've never had more than 2 bars of Wi-Fi on that.
I never paid attention to it.
I've never. Like, remember that first night we were down here and we were like, what the fuck? And then, like, that next day went to my office and was right next to the router and still 2. Like, doesn't, whatever. I don't know what that's about. everything downloads fine. It just looks like it's not connected or not getting a strong signal. So that threw me off. But I think he wanted to stress test Splatoon. So he played at IGN, played at home, and played tethered to a phone. And had someone, he took it even further, had someone drive him around San Francisco in a notably dead area, cell service-wise, connected to a data plan.
Phone, yep.
0 problems. So that could be because Nintendo
has
optimized things. He pointed out the fact that people on Reddit were kind of speculating that the data packets that are being sent back and forth are relatively small and optimized in the right way. So that could factor into it.
I would say it could be the server end on Nintendo. That's very well doing that, and not necessarily the Switch. However,
but I think if they can solve that problem, I think that'd be pretty fucking rad. And also, to your point about being able to take it around, like, I think that like, if someone really wanted to hotspot in, they could. But I think for me, and for I think what Nintendo's trying to do with the console is that word I just said, which is console. So largely you're going to be hooked into a TV. If you're not, you're going to be upstairs on the couch or whatever. You're going to hold it in your hands and blah, blah, blah.
That's the thing I want the most. Like being downstairs in the living room and not, because like I said, remote play, there's just that little bit of lag that throws it off. And if you can just eliminate some of that.
Yeah.
If I can have a Switch with me in the living room, a floor away from my actual like dock, sign me up. I would be there until I kill the battery.
Yeah, that's what I did that first like week that we had the Switch. Was I'd sit down here and I'd play Zelda to my heart's content, and then I gotta go to bed. I'd pull it out of the dock. I'd walk upstairs, let the dogs fall asleep, and I'd sit there and play Zelda until I was ready to fall asleep. I'd put it on the nightstand. I'd wake up, turn it on, pick up where I left off, walk to the kitchen, make coffee, walk down here, pop it in the dock, play on the TV. That was my whole day. But yeah, I would really like Rocket League on there.
I love it. And then like, if you look ahead of this release schedule, yeah, you got your your notable Nintendo games, but they're so spread apart, and there's not really much third-party stuff coming down the pipeline. At least that they've announced. Of course, June. Come June, that might look a little different, but if you throw Rocket League in that release schedule, it's going to thrive on there.
Yeah, right alongside Smash Brothers. That'd be good. Did you see, speaking of April Fool's jokes, there were some decent things.
So I'll tell you the one that got me the most, but you go first.
The one that I thought was fucking stupid was there was a loading screen game on the Sega website, I think, for Bayonetta, and they teased that Bayonetta was coming to Steam, and then just put the 8-bit Bayonetta loading screen game out on Steam, which was fun. I saw that one. I can't remember. Nintendo had one that was like, fuck you guys, which was Ashley from WarioWare.
Okay.
They made a whole fake thing about I think it's a rhythm game starring Ashley, which was like, come on. And they did a lot of work to make it look legit.
Rhythm game WarioWare style, that has potential.
Let me see. Where's Marc? I'm looking through my phone. Crazy Galaxy, I think is what it's called. Or what they called it. But yeah, they made it seem like this was a thing and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the possibility there. Those two genres, I think you can call WarioWare its own genre at this point. Just so fucking bizarre and weird.
Yeah.
That and the rhythm, there's some elements I can see working there.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I can't get the page to load. However, yeah, the Crazy Galaxy, Ashley from WarioWare, blah, blah, blah. But April Fool's joke, which sucks. Never going to happen. Or maybe it will. Maybe the April Fool's joke is enough to just kind of push it over. That was one I saw. And then, but the one that was an ultimate that brings me back to this conversation is I was like, fuck. It was the U series, which were a bunch of, someone made Photoshops of Switch cases with all of these Wii U games. And it was like, Mario Maker and Smash, Woolly World.
All the stuff you'll get eventually, because it all bombed on the Wii U.
That's the thing that not all of them did, but.
Well, when the whole console bombs, everything that goes on it bombs with it.
The console was fine, probably, maybe, sort of.
Yeah. Oh God, I look at this Switch and inside your dock right next to your TV, and I'm like, they got it. That's what I want. I need some games now, but they got it. The hardware is there. And then I look a little bit more to the left and up, and I see your Fisher Price toy over there, and I'm like, fuck, I hate that thing.
I know.
God, it was the thing, it was so close. Remember back in the day when I was playing Aria of Sorrow, and the only way I could play, because of Virtual Console being the way it is, I can only play on Wii U. I was like, oh, this is it. All right, I'm going to go downstairs with my Wii U, and I'm going to play it, kind of like a remote play, and this is going to work. This might be like the one time I use my Wii U for the way it is. I was like right in that range where it would connect and then not connect. And then it would connect and then it would not connect. I'm like, I'm in the same goddamn Wi-Fi. I'm a floor away from the console, and you can't let me go this far. Nope.
That was what used to happen with when we were in the apartment. A one-bedroom apartment, like that was the size of this basement or smaller. And the Wii U was in the living room, entertainment center. There's a wall, bedroom. But I'd be... It was like fucked up. If I were in the middle-ish of the bed, nothing. Dead zone. Can't see the game. Can't see the console. If I just moved slightly over so I was barely closer to the edge, totally fine. I'd be fine. Yeah.
That was really frustrating.
Those are the days. What April Fool's things popped up and got you?
I was aware after someone tried to do it at work to me, and he actually brought it to my attention what day it was. It wasn't even good. It was dumb. Anyway, I was very conscious going to the gaming websites that day.
Yep.
And nothing got me on the Kotakus and the IGN, like those types of things. And I was browsing Reddit, and it was on all, and I was just looking at stupid stuff. It wasn't all pranks and things like that. And then I was scrolling through, and I am subscribed to the Disc Jam subreddit. So when I was in my all, I was seeing the Disc Jam stuff come up, and I saw one, and I just totally lost my train of thought. I saw one in Disc Jam that said rank play is now live. I was like, holy shit, oh my god, I need to go play Disc Jam. And I tapped on the thing and just said April Fools, and I was like, everything. Fuck you.
Fuck everything.
I literally threw my phone in excitement, like as a frisbee.
Yeah.
Practicing for.
But yeah, getting ready
play.
for rank.
Yeah. And
getting it out there.
I'm still salty about that one, just a tiny bit.
Damn. One day, maybe.
Oh, it's coming. I know it's coming. It's just a matter of when.
One day, maybe. Well, that's everything I got for show and tell. I think that's everything we've got for this episode. What do you say?
I'm good, Mark. Yeah, I think that's a no.
That's a good point, though.
It is.
We do have a new cover story. As of today, April 3rd, if you're listening to this day, it came out. If not, April 3rd, we have a new cover story. Fools.
Yep.
This whole month is about humor in gaming. So Marc made a fucking fantastic, beautiful cover for us. And yeah, we're going to talk about all funny things in games. So we might do some retro spotlights about stupid games that make us laugh. Play some games here and there. But all that, we'll talk about humor in games. Go check out that cover story on the website. Check out Marc's cover because it's dope. Super dope. Like, I think there's a couple of them we've done now where I'm like, these are rad. I need to get these printed and hung up. I think this is one of them. I think it's gonna go on the wall. We do need to eventually get spray paint for this wall so we can spray paint TM on there.
What you should do, there's like either like a chalkboard, or there are like different paints that act like a chalkboard, and then when appropriate, just write it up, erase it, and then it'll keep going up as time goes on. But
I was thinking about getting a whiteboard for this so we could do planning stuff.
Hold that thought.
Okay. But I also thought about, do we need one? Or do we not? What do you think?
We might need 2.
2?
I'm just saying I had that. There was a moment in time in college when I was a math student.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was appropriate not to do all my work anymore on paper.
So you went whiteboard.
I went whiteboard and did it all on whiteboards and have 2 of them.
Do we need them? Do you think we would need them or utilize them?
We could utilize them. I need to see if I still have them. I think when my grandmother's vision was getting bad, or like worse than it already was, we started writing the date real big on these whiteboards. So she would have a frame of reference. Yeah, I think they're still at my grandmother's house. Need to see. But if we're thinking about whiteboards, don't buy them.
Okay.
This guy has them.
I'm thinking like that might be a thing to do for planning.
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah? If you think it'd be awesome, then I say we're in. Because we could just make this is the podcast.
Probably still have dry erase markers too. In my room.
That's what you need for a dry erase board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Fools is our cover story. Go check that out. Check out the thing. We soon, if not now, there's a way you can buy that as a poster if you want to buy it as a poster. Because I do, for sure. We got some stuff hitting the site this week. We talked about Baseball Week. We've also got Retro Spotlight on Pinbot hitting Wednesday. NES Pinbot. So really cool. That was Rare, right?
I'm losing my...
I'm pretty sure it was Rare who developed Williams Pinbot as a video game brought over from the actual
board.
physical table, which is cool. All kinds of cool stuff. The free cheese is a happening place, Matt. I'm telling you. I know it.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to bring it to a close. If you like this episode, you can find it and all of our other episodes on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. You can subscribe to us on any of those things, leave comments, all that. You can email us, podcast@thefreecheese.com. Send feedback, ask a question. We'll answer your question on the air. Twitter, The Free Cheese is at Some Free Cheese. Matt is at MattyIce131. Marc is at aug_mental. I am at The Free Cheese. What else? That's all of them, right? TheFreeCheese.com. That's the big one.
Yeah.
It's the most important one. That's it. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell anybody who wants to know about anything. TheFreeCheese.com. We'll be it. We'll be back in a week's time with another episode. Before we take off, Matt, anything else?
No. Baseball week.
Baseball week. Go check out all the baseball stuff. Or
watch a baseball game itself.
You could do that, or go watch the Free Cheese play a bunch of baseball games, because that's really how you should spend baseball week. Marc, anything from you?
ああ、何よケツね。いいじゃない別。あ、わかった。おませさんね。ピー。にあんた使い道ないんでしょ。ピー。ピー。
I don't disagree at all. I think it's a good way to end the show. Thank you both for being here, hanging out.
No problem. Thank you.
With that, we'll be back in a week. Yeah. Thanks, Marc. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, listener. See you in a week.